everyone, it's Angela from Shin's Greens, and I'm going to give you a garden tour. And we're sitting at the front yard garden. Now, I don't live here at this house, but this used to be a grassy lawn right here behind me, and I've built some raised beds and I converted this lawn into a vegetable garden. And I'm so excited to show you what's growing now. So we're in the middle of April. We're in Southern California, zone 10. So it's heating up here. And so that means I've already harvested almost all of my winter vegetables. And I'm going to show you what I've harvested for the past month and what I've cooked with it. And now, as you can see here, even my radishes are bolting. But you know what? These flowers are so beautiful. And Emma, the woman who actually lives here, uses these flowers to decorate her cakes and pastries, and they look absolutely gorgeous. So nothing goes to waste here in the garden. And I do have my family visiting here this weekend, and I'm so excited because they've never seen the garden in person. And I do have a young niece and nephew who watch my videos, and I'm so excited to have them pick their own vegetables and to see how food grows. And I think it's really great to get kids out in the garden. So why don't you guys come along with me and I'll show you the garden. Welcome to the Shin's Greens garden. Now, some areas look a little bare and patchy because I've harvested a lot of my winter vegetables and I haven't put in a lot of my spring vegetables quite yet. Now, this garden produces a lot of food, and I'm not gonna lie, when you harvest all that food, that means you have to wash and prepare all of it. It's so much work. Oh my gosh, it's so time consuming. But you know what? It's absolutely worth it because you get fresh, healthy, organic food. I just have to find a way to become more efficient with washing and processing all the food that I harvest. But let's first start with the red cabbage. Oh my gosh, the core is humongous. Hey, there you go, my first somewhat successful cabbage. So this is my cauliflower. It's not very big and the head is already starting to separate, so I'm gonna go ahead and harvest it. I think I waited a little too long, and it's not very big because it's really crowded. For my first try, I think it's not bad. I used the cauliflower and other vegetables from my garden to make a Japanese style curry. And this is such an easy and delicious meal. It's the perfect dish for gardeners because I can literally walk around my garden and see what's ready to pick, and I can chop it up and throw it into the curry, and the sauce makes it so delicious. You guys have to try this out. I've got some beautiful looking Kale. And the crown jewel of my garden is my curly kale. I mean, I have two plants here, but they look absolutely gorgeous. They've done so well, and I've been eating so much kale off this. This is by far the best kale I've ever grown in my life. I mean, just look at it. It is absolutely stunning. And I've got no pest issues, no aphids or caterpillars. I don't even know how tall that is, but it has done so well. Can you believe this sunflower was a volunteer that came out of my compost? I've got a gorgeous Swiss chard here. And I've got a couple of dahlias back there. And this right here is a volunteer watermelon. And here I've got some Mizuna. All of my spinach is bolted. This is how it looks when it bolts. But maybe I'll get some seeds off that I can plant them again in the fall. I have another batch of snow peas here. Oh, I should really pick some of these before they get too overgrown. This is my last batch of sugar snap peas. And after these peas are done, then we are officially all out of peas for the season. And we have to wait again until the fall to plant them again. And these bachelor buttons have just gone wild. I mean, they look so beautiful. I love the color. It is so low maintenance. I just love the look. It makes me feel like I'm in a wild meadow. Now over here, this is my seed starting station. I've got lots of tomatoes, different kinds of watermelons, peppers, squashes, herbs, all kinds of stuff growing here. I've got so much borage growing in my garden now. You know, these grow absolutely wild at the community garden. They grow all throughout the walkways. And so I just scoop them out of the walkways, and they're just volunteer plants. And I just transplanted a bunch of them here. I've got another Swiss chard here. All of my Chinese broccoli has bolted. Oh, and then down here I've got sweet potatoes. Now I do have several sweet potato plants that I just planted in random spots throughout my garden. Such as right there is another sweet potato right here. Now my ranunculus is actually already on its way out. So what happens with ranunculus is that as the weather heats up, they really don't like the hot weather. So the blooms will fall off, the leaves will die back, and then the plant will store its energy in the roots. And the roots are called corms. And then you can dig up the corms, keep them in a cool, dry place throughout the whole summer, and then plant them again in the fall as the weather cools down. I've tied a white string on some of them just to remind me of which plants that I want to save. I'm only picking the healthiest and most beautiful plants to save the corms for next year. And oh my goodness, look at this iris. Just look at how gorgeous that is. Oh my gosh, and it smells so good. It smells like perfume. So this one was grown from a bulb, and oh my gosh, I'm just so thrilled with how it came out. And I've got a zucchini, the first zucchini of the season. And some more sweet potatoes. This one is a, what is this, a cosmos. This was also a volunteer at the community garden. It was growing in the walkway, so I scooped it out and planted it here. And I've got some red Russian kale. And down here is a volunteer cantaloupe. This one is the black Hopi sunflower. I've got two of them right here. This one is a silver Yamato watermelon. It has white flesh on the inside. I got the seeds from Baker Creek. And I'm covering it up just to protect the leaves from getting eaten by all the roly-polies. This right here is the second year asparagus. So this is what asparagus looks like if you just let it keep growing. Oh, look at the ranunculus. Just love it. It is gorgeous. This one is a golden watermelon. I got these seeds from a friend. And these have yellow flesh on the inside, so I think that'll be really interesting. Another dahlia here. More sweet potatoes. I mean, this is really just such a random mix of plants. I got some green beans, another Swiss chard, and then a huge borage plant. This one also was a volunteer that I scooped up from the community garden. And then this one right here, this is a cucumber that I need to train up the trellis to go up this way, but right now the magnolia tendril peas are in the way. This one right here is a scarlet runner bean. And it's got some carrots in the middle, some parsley. And all on here I've got little asparagus. Lots and lots of asparagus growing everywhere around my garden. You can probably tell by now that I have no theme to any of my garden beds. Nothing is really organized. Everything is just kind of haphazard and mixing all together. But that's what I like about this garden, because you can just explore and just come across all these little surprises. And I've got more bachelor buttons here and some more magnolia tendril peas. Just absolutely gorgeous blooms. I just love this corner right here with the different mix of flowers right here. So beautiful. Right here I've got a nice looking basil. And some more basil. Looks like it's starting to bolt. So I'm gonna pinch off that flower head. Just like this. Don't want it to flower. Once it flowers, then the plant dies off much more quickly. Thyme right here, and the thyme is actually starting to flower too. And I've got a volunteer lettuce, some more basil, some more parsley, and I've got some snapdragons that are just about to bloom. And I've got some more snapdragons here and some chives right here. Such a cute little corner right here. And I purposely planted these herbs behind this trellis because, you know, as the sun moves across, the trellis will provide a little bit of shade because these herbs don't like it to be too hot. Oh my gosh, just look at these gorgeous green beans. I've been harvesting and eating so many green beans. Forgot this, I've got a potato growing here. Now let's take a look back here. There's a few more things to show you. This right here is a gooseberry that's just starting to form fruit. And I've got gorgeous looking strawberries here.